This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening, I'm Amanda Starrentino. New at 11 after a story you saw first on RTV6, an Indiana lawmaker is proposing a new law to protect mobile home residents, like the many we've introduced you to in our series of reports from the I-70 mobile home park. RTV6 reporter Cameron Riddle is working for you with the details on the difference a new law could make.
RTV6 has been reporting on the I-70 mobile home park since late August. Now, nearly 6 months later, a state lawmaker is working to make sure what happened here never happens again.
I filed legislation to try to help in the future if there was a mobile home park where the owner decided he's going to close its doors and ask everybody to evacuate and move out, that we have in statute a clear length of time that he needs to provide them notice in.
State Representative Justin Moed's House Bill 1133 is signed into law. Owners of mobile home parks would have to provide their residents with 120 days notice of the park's closure, double the time residents at the I-70 mobile home park received in August.
This is unlike an apartment where you just got to pack up some things and move out. This is an actual structure, and oftentimes it might be in the condition that it either needs to be repaired or it can't be moved.
Moed says under current Indiana law, there is no notice requirement for mobile home parks. Moed's bill would also require owners to notify residents anytime they list the property for sale. He's hoping to eliminate surprises that could turn residents' lives upside down.
This is what people have believed to be, as you talked with residents, some of them thought they would retire here or die there. This would be their last place of living. And that certainly wasn't the case for a lot of folks here.
As residents move out of the I-70 mobile home park and its condition deteriorates, Moed says without legislative action, what happened to the people who live here could just be the beginning of a continuing problem.
I represent other mobile home parks that are aging in this city, and the likelihood that this happens somewhere else is high, and so I don't want to have another resource fair for something like that, or you to have to cover another story where this happens again.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
And if Moed's bill has been assigned to a committee, we will let you know when it advances. And if the bill passes and is signed into law, it could go into effect this year. When you reach out to RTV6, we will work to help resolve your specific issue and similar bigger issues that could impact others. Just contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com. And now to the forecast. It's another chilly night with temperatures in the 20s and teens, but a warm-up is on the way. Kevin, tell us about that.
And we'll finally get temperatures above average again within the 7-day planner. You'll see that. Won't have to wait all that long. We're dry tomorrow. That's a headline. Our next weather system that will produce some precipitation, rain, and snow mix arrives Thursday night. Temperatures now upper teens to lower 20s. Pretty consistent across all of central Indiana. Hope you saw it. Venus was putting on the show in the western sky this evening. The brightest thing out there. 19 tomorrow morning. There's your warm-up with overnight lows. 29 Thursday. Friday will be above freezing to start the day. Here's the game plan tomorrow. Clouds increase through the afternoon. Temperature hits about 36. We'll focus on the arriving storm system for the end of the week coming up.
A second person has died after a vehicle drove into a pond on the north side of Indianapolis. The Marion County Coroner's Office tells RTV6 a woman in the car passed away. A man died shortly after the accident Friday night. Investigators say the road appeared to be slick when the victim's SUV jumped a curb and went into the water on 86th Street across from Brebeuf High School. And new at 11 lane restrictions could have a big impact on your morning drive. Citizens Energy Group says it has closed 3 lanes of Pennsylvania between New York and Washington as part of a sewer rehabilitation project. The agency says prepare for traffic congestion tomorrow and Thursday, especially during the afternoon rush hour. The lanes are expected to be back open by Thursday evening. And the Department of Public Works is preparing for more potholes to pop up after the recent freeze and thaw cycle. DPW Director Dan Parker talked about road conditions this morning. Parker says last week the department received 986 repair requests and closed almost 600. He says today 14 crews of 6 workers each were out making repairs. DPW encourages drivers to report potholes to the city.
Don't assume that someone else has reported the hole, and I can't say this enough. Your first action should not be to go to social media to report a hole. That doesn't translate into a work request. A work request is only derived from calling the MAC, using Request Indy or going on Request Indy online.
And the MAC is the Mayor's Action Center. That number is 317-327-4622. And a construction project on the east side of Indianapolis will continue through the summer. RTV6 learned the timeline for railroad and bridge repairs near 38th and Arlington after frustrated business owners reached out to us for answers. The project was originally scheduled to wrap up by last November. People who work in the area, like William Owens, say their shops are being blocked by the construction.
Some of the automotive guys are looking to downsize because they're not going to be able to afford the size places that they have now for the amount of rent that they pay here if more than half the customers are gone.
The $4.5 million project is a partnership between DPW and the Indiana Department of Transportation. Officials tell RTV6 several factors played a role in the delay, including a lack of workers for the job and the weather. New at 11, the University of Evansville has fired the head coach of the men's basketball team. This comes about a month after the university put Walter McCarty on administrative leave after receiving reports of alleged sexual misconduct and Title IX violations. In a letter sent to the campus community, the university president says an external investigation uncovered persistent and troubling facts regarding McCarty's conduct that violated the terms of his contract. McCarty became a national figure in November after Evansville stunned the University of Kentucky, beating the Wildcats, who were ranked #1 at the time. Now back to the State House, where at least 2 bills related to sex crimes have been introduced. First, Senator Frank Mervin of Hammond says universities and colleges are not doing enough to protect students from sexual violence, domestic violence, and stalking. He has introduced legislation to provide victims better support and educate them on their rights and options. It's an issue that Natalie Mendez says hits close to home for many students. She's a member of the Sigma Psi Zeta sorority at IUPUI, which hosts and participates in events that empower and support people who have been sexually assaulted.
You can ask anybody on our campus and they would probably say that they know 1 or 2 people, or if not more, that have been sexually assaulted, whether that was, on campus or before they have gotten to campus. At the end of the day, it still happens.
Senator Mervin's bill would also require schools to designate confidential advisors that provide emergency and ongoing support to victims. And a bill that would make it easier for survivors of child sex crimes to seek justice is headed to the full Senate. The proposal would create exceptions to the current statute of limitations on sex crimes against minors. Right now, a person can be prosecuted for those crimes only if the victim is currently under the age of 31. Exceptions include if new DNA evidence is discovered, if someone confesses, or if there is video or audio of the crime. And Metro Police want to know if you recognize a suspect accused of using credit cards stolen from a purse at a restaurant. These are surveillance pictures of the woman wanted for fraud. She is accused of using the stolen cards at the Target on East 86th Street on December 14th, the same day they went missing. And Carmel police are searching for this man after a pizza pickup turned violent. Investigators say the man in these pictures went into Mellow Mushroom on 116th Street to pick up an online order Sunday evening and for some reason punched a fellow customer. You can call Crime Stoppers to report information in either case at 317-262-TIPS. And if you missed today's fundraiser to support Country Kitchen, you can still make donations through KeyBank. As we told you last night, money raised will go to help employees who are out of work as the restaurant works to rebuild after a devastating fire. Owner Cynthia Wilson says support has come from across the community.
And not only the community, we've had businesses reach out to us. I want to give a big shout out to Harry and Izzy's downtown. They've reached out to me and they're going to help me in the future with some things. There's been so many, there's a cabinet maker, Rob and Howe in the community. They've reached out and said, hey, what can we do? So I just want to make sure people know too, the businesses have come to our rescue also.
For more information about the KeyBank donation account, go to the RTV6 app and click on this story. And new at 11, kids around Central Indiana will feel special on their special day thanks to a volunteer event tonight. More than 100 employees with One America packed dozens of birthday boxes for kids filled with a toy, candy, and a birthday card. The boxes will go to kids who may not otherwise get a birthday celebration, like children in foster care.
It says something when you can make a moment special for someone who may not otherwise feel that way just because of their financial circumstances or other extenuating circumstances. circumstances that they're not in control of, but on a special day like someone's birthday, a birthday box shows up and they can maybe have their first birthday cake and a card and maybe some balloons that just says, hey, you are special and your day is special.
Volunteers also packed snack packs for kids in need. The boxes will go to 2 local organizations.
This is bad. This is no good.
Coming up, an ugly scene in college basketball as a rivalry game turns violent. If the 2017 Equifax data breach exposed your personal information, you still have time to file a claim, but not that much. Coming up, what you need to know about the looming deadline.
Toyota, let's go places.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Happening now, the debate over impeachment trial proceedings continues in Washington, D.C. This is a live look from the Senate. You can watch live on the RTV6 Facebook page. And it's been a long day for senators. Opening arguments started this afternoon. ABC's Serena Marshall reports.
The rules that will govern only the 3rd impeachment trial in American history, still being argued on Capitol Hill. In vote,
yeas are 53, the nays are 47. The amendment is tabled.
After vote,
the motion is tabled.
The minority party losing changes to the McConnell rules. The majority leader keeping his caucus together, but that only occurring after pressure from moderates in his own party. Backing down on his attempts to compress the schedule, Senator Susan Collins of Maine demanding the rules follow the footprint of the Clinton impeachment. Now each side getting 24 hours over 3 days to make their opening statements, followed by up to 16 hours of questioning from senators. And the evidence from the House automatically admitted into the record. But Democrats say that's not good enough. They want to be able to subpoena documents and call witnesses the White House has been blocking, including the president's former national security advisor, John Bolton.
The House calls John Bolton. The House calls Mick Mulvaney. Let's get this trial started, shall we?
But the president's team arguing House Democrats should have gone to the courts if those witnesses were so important.
Obstruction for going to court? It's an act of patriotism to defend the constitutional rights of the president.
And so far, senators on break from the marathon day, sticking with their party's position.
You know we should at least hear from Mick Mulvaney. You know we should at least hear from John Bolton.
It is clear House Democrats view this as an opportunity to continue their partisan attacks on the president instead of focusing on the priorities of the American people.
Moderate Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine saying she's still open to hearing from new witnesses, but wants that to happen after opening statements and a round of questions, keeping it in the similar stance of the Clinton impeachment. On Capitol Hill, Serena Marshall, ABC News. A potentially deadly virus is now confirmed in the U.S. The first patient with coronavirus has been identified in Washington. The virus originated in Wuhan, China last month. The number of cases there quickly rose from a few dozen last week to more than 400 now, with 9 deaths. Health officials have determined that the virus can spread from human to human, but it's unclear how easily.
U.S. public health officials are still saying that the risk to the U.S. population is low, but we have to be clear. We don't yet know how this virus spreads. We know it can be passed human to human, but we don't know how, and we don't know how severe it is. We're going to be looking for the mortality rate or the death rate with this.
The Centers for Disease Control has been preparing for the coronavirus. Clinicians are on alert for patients with respiratory symptoms and a history of travel to Wuhan. And there are now checkpoints at several airports to check the temperatures of passengers arriving from the affected area. Indianapolis International is not one of them as of now. The Red Cross says winter is consistently a difficult time for collecting blood, and platelet donations, and this season is no different.
This time of year, we nearly always face a blood shortage just because of the holiday time, flu and cold season, winter weather, things like that would affect our ability to go out and collect blood.
The agency says there's a critical shortage of type O blood. It's urging donations of all blood types, especially types O negative and O positive. And there are always blood drives happening in the area, including one from 8:30 to 2:30 Friday at Arsenal Tech High School, and one on Saturday at the Delaware Township Building in Fishers from 10 to 3. You can find a full list of Red Cross blood drives or schedule an appointment by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story. If you were impacted by the massive Equifax data breach in 2017, you are running out of time to take part in the settlement. The deadline to file a claim or sign up for credit monitoring is tomorrow. The breach exposed the personal information of more than 147 million people. If you file a claim, you could get money, but the Federal Trade Commission warns it probably won't be much. The credit monitoring option is for 10 years. The website is equifaxbreachsettlement.com. Kevin joins us now, and quite chilly outside.
Yeah, I bet you in Florida, every weatherman was leading the newscast down there. Temperatures in the 30s into central Florida. I think even Miami will be in the low 40s tomorrow morning. They're getting what we've had for a few days. 36, though, tomorrow here. You get it above freezing, that's a good deal. That's about average for this time of year. A little more progress on Thursday. Chance for rain minimal Thursday. Better chance for rain, maybe mixing with snow at times as we get to Friday. Let's fill in some other blanks here. Our chance for rain goes up Thursday night, not until then. Friday and Saturday, 2 active days with primarily rain. I think warmer air drawn into this. May see a little snow mix in Thursday night into Friday morning, and then again Friday night into Saturday morning. As far as any accumulating snow, at least with a Thursday night into Friday morning, you can see that's off to the northwest portion of the state, Valparaiso, South Bend, up towards Chicago. There'll be some light accumulating snow. It's rain that we'll keep track of here. We've had over 5 inches of rain this month, unusual amount of rain, and a good solid ½ inch coming our way in that stretch from Thursday night into Saturday night. So nothing real heavy. Temperatures tomorrow where they should be this time of year. Mixture of clouds and sunshine in the morning. The tug of war, though, between clouds and sunshine will be won by the cloud cover in the afternoon. Assuming we have some breaks in the clouds, we should see the International Space Station fly over tomorrow evening. 6:35, you'll find a white dot at about 6:35 above the southwest horizon. For 4 minutes, it will pass overhead and then disappear in the east-northeast. We'll remind you again tomorrow evening about that. Temperature Thursday with dry conditions, a little bit warmer, a lot more cloud cover in the afternoon. Temperatures in the low 40s to the south. As this plays out, what's going to happen is low pressure will draw milder air and moist air into central Indiana. 7 a.m. Thursday, some snow over portions of Illinois. We could have a couple of spotty showers in the afternoon, but it's more likely Thursday night that we begin to see rain pulled into central Indiana, some of the snow in the northwest portion of the state. Then we spiral more rain in through the day on Friday. Rain-snow mix, 38 degrees Saturday. Sunday, we're dry and in the 30s. If you're looking for more January warmth, you'll find it. Temperatures next week, 43 Monday, 48 by next Tuesday. Anytime you sit around 50 for a high in January, that's rare air.
We're just kind of floating above right now.
We are.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Dave?
All right, got to show you this. Really, are you kidding me? Bitter rivalry taken too far in Lawrence, Kansas tonight when an all-out brawl breaks out towards the end. Punches, shoving. One player picked up a stool. Third-ranked Kansas went on to win this game over K-State 81-60, but suspensions and who knows what coming after that one. Wow. Hey, good evening. Closer to home, suddenly Butler basketball in full-on scramble mode. Ranked 5th just a week ago, they've now lost 3 straight. This one at 9th-ranked Villanova. Laval Jordan trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Started off well. Kamar Baldwin, 3-ball. He had a game-high 21. Dogs up 6, but Villanova on a decisive 25-10 run. Jermaine Samuels here on the drive, team-high 20. Sean McDermott just 1 of 11 from the field. Dogs lose another one, 76-61. They host Marquette Friday night. Crucial week for Purdue. Told you about this 6, hosting Wisconsin Friday and got 21st-ranked Illinois tonight. Matt Painter and company just lost to these guys by 26 a couple of weeks ago. Purdue led by 1 at the break, but the Illini shot 75% in the second half. Shots like this certainly helps. Kofi Cockburn, game-high 22 points and 15 boards. Man, that dude is a load inside. Purdue gets swept 79-62. They host Wisconsin again Friday night. Illinois off to their best Big Ten start in 14 years. In high school hoop, Hoosier Hoop Hysteria started the city tournament tonight, now in its 80th year. Opening round at Heritage Christian, the Eagles hosting Ritter. Heritage Christian in white, that's Alex Belmer draining the 3-ball, and little outside inside as well. Jack Belt on the drive. hoop and harm, but a big run by Ritter. Aiden Cannon, watch here in 3-ball corner pocket on that side, then he'll switch sides. How about another one? Ritter wins at 67-56, just their 3rd win of the season. They advance to get 10th-ranked Addicts in Thursday's quarterfinals. Little girls hoop for you. Rematch of the 4A final last year. 5th-ranked Lawrence North hosting 6th-ranked Hamilton Southeastern. Royals in blue. Michaela Henshaw gets the 2nd quarter started, drains a triple. Another long ball. Sid Parrish from 20 feet out. Into the 3rd, Ellen's Christian Young beats the buzzer to tie it at 31. But the Royals outscore them by 6 in the 4th. They win 49-43. They're now 18-2. All right, finally tonight, first and foremost, for Indy 500 champ Simon Pagenaud. Today, the track's annual champions banner went up above gate 2. Simon couldn't make it, testing on a simulator down in Charlotte, so he sent us this video. A cardboard version standing in, or perhaps suffering from FOMO, which stands for, Amanda?
Fear of missing out.
Fear of missing out.
I'm so proud of you, Dave.
Very well done.
Why are you testing me? You should ask Kevin.
Kevin, FOMO means?
I did not know that.
The season starts March 15th at St. Petersburg. Fear of missing out.
What if we just put a cardboard? Maybe we should have done that for Mark tonight. Cardboard cutout of him.
We usually do that for Mark. Oh, he's not here to defend himself.
We miss you, Mark. All right, coming up, a closer look at Eli Lilly's decision not to bring a $470 million facility to the Hoosier State.
Get the perfect match that will set them up for success.
Welcome back. In tonight's Hiring Hoosiers, the latest on Eli Lilly's decision to not build a new $470 million pharmaceutical manufacturing plant here in Indiana. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker is here to explain why the Indiana-based company went with a different location. Cornelius.
Yeah, Amanda, the spokesperson of Eli Lilly says it came down to 3 states, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. They chose Durham, North Carolina for several reasons. They told us Durham met their qualifications for cost of operations, quality of life, and the ability to attract and retain a skilled workforce. Average pay for the jobs is average pay for the 462 jobs at the plant will be right around $72,000, with entry-level positions starting at $50,000. And for choosing Durham as the location for this facility, Eli Lilly could receive right around $12 million in incentives if they meet hiring and investment goals. Once the facility is up and running, they will focus on creating 2 medications for diabetes.
And Cornelius, that's great for the people living in North Carolina, but what about everyone here that was hoping to get those jobs?
Yeah, those are the questions we've been asking them. Now, back in November, it was announced that Eli Lilly invested $400 million in its manufacturing facilities at the Lilly Technology Center here in Indy, creating almost 100 jobs. Now, we talked to the Indiana Economic Development. That's the state's lead agency for trying to get businesses here, and they painted a rosier picture of the situation, saying that any growth for Lilly is beneficial to Indiana.
Okay, thank you, Cornelius, for that. And because we are focused on getting Hoosiers like you jobs, we are continuing to follow up with Eli Lilly along with the governor and mayor of Indianapolis to see how our area can make sure it does not miss out on projects like this. We'll be right back.
Silverado 1500 pickups.
Temperature tomorrow where it should be, mid-30s this time of year. We're dry. Thursday, temperatures will warm to around 40. Our best chance for rain-snow mix comes Friday and Saturday. Bus stop in the morning, 19 degrees. Temperatures by the time the kids come back home, around 36. So we may hear some noise in Speedway tomorrow, huh?
They got one stock car going around the road course at the Speedway.
I'll listen for it on my way into work.
Your drive every morning.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Good night.